Adam Frederick, over 4,000 yards in his career, 1,500 this season, and he's got a big target at number 88, Mario Medley.
And Mario Medley is a guy that you're going to look at all afternoon. Also, Jarius Acey, a guy who had only one catch during the 4 games of the playoffs. He had 4 big catches last week in helping to lead them into this game. He's got 14 for the year for 366 yards and 6 TDs. This is a team that relies on skill. You talked about Adam Frederick. Talk about coming from great quarterback stock. His uncles, Ken and Randy, were both quarterbacks before. He knows what he's doing out there, and he's being looked at as a big-time athlete on the Division I level.
Let's go down to midfield, where the referee, Mike Melnick, is working with the captains right now.
Fellow officials, Mr. Trundle, the umpire, he'll be behind the ball. Mr. Bowen, Mr. Godek. Over here, Mr. Shane, Mr. Caffarelli, and Mr. Zhang. Mr. Zangi. He'll be the bag judge. He'll be in the center of the field. He's got the 25-second clock. After 20 seconds elapsed, 5 seconds remaining, he'll raise his hand. Okay? If you have any questions during the course of the game, don't hesitate to ask any official, as long as it's done sportsmanlike. All we ask, play the game the way it should be played, and we won't have any problem. All right, you're the visitors. You call it. That's heads. That's tails. Call it in the air. Call it in the air. No, just. All right, he called tails. It is a tails. It's your choice of options. They'll defer. What would you like to do? Receive? Okay, which goal would you like to defend? Okay, will you turn that way, please? This way? Shady Side won the toss. They deferred their options to the second half.
It's always an
Mount
advantage.
Carmel will receive. Let's shake hands, boys.
I like the ball starting the 3rd quarter. There's Mount Carmel. Chris Shue, he's a hammer. Big guy, too. 300 pounds. Jamie Vogler, he's been here before. Mike Sinkovich, he's got a brother. And I'll tell you what, names are familiar. They just plug them in by generation at Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel's coach, Whitey Williams, said that offensive line has not played a bad game all year. They've played excellent football all year. There you see the offensive skill people for Mount Carmel. John Veach is one to watch. He suffered a hip pointer last week, and they say he's ready to go, but he's not 100%, so that could be a factor. Nick Sebas, the fine quarterback, will lead the offense for Mount Carmel.
Our WITF crew is going to take you around the Hershey Park Stadium here as they have welcomed back the PIAA State Championships for the first time since 1991. Christina Valerneva from Mount Carmel to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Christina Valenia, Mount Carmel with the national anthem. Good to have you with us here in Hershey. We got another game later. Quad A championship between Central Bucks West, the number 7 team nationally, going up against Newcastle. Let's have a look at the Shady Side defense. They live on speed. James Ruggiero right there is going to be the key.
Yeah, he's a very good two-way player, and some say the best fullback in the WPIAL. Adam Frederick going both ways as a quarterback, and also Mario Medley going both ways. There you see the Shady Side defense, backfield and linebackers.
This looks like a classic matchup this afternoon of the speed of Shady Side against the power of that offensive line of Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel, one of the most storied programs in the state of Pennsylvania, 678 wins for that program, and they certainly come in here this afternoon ready to try to do some damage on a much smaller but very quick Shady Side team.
Al Bailey goes deep along with Nick Sebas. to take the kick from Shady Side.
Nick Sebas, the quarterback for Mount Carmel, is one of the fastest players we'll see on the field today, and that gives Mount Carmel's offense a huge advantage.
Do lose top receiver Josh Paracella to an ACL injury to the knee in the Eastern Final a week ago against Marion Catholic. The AA championship is underway. It's going to be Sebas stepping in front at the 10. He's a home run hitter. He's going to be the quarterback today, and Shady Side is right there to gobble him up at the 23. The early key, how is it going to play out in the trenches? That is the definitive advantage in this game for Mount Carmel, and that is where they will look to exploit in the early going. The Red Tornado, this is kind of a game, even numbered year, which they have on their regular schedule. Nick Sebas under center. Power I formation. They're going to go to John Beach, younger brother of Brett, and the tackle made by Adam Frederick. We'll call his name. He's the quarterback on the other side for Shady Side. Well, I'll tell you what, John Beach is putting up some big-time numbers here early in his career, only a sophomore.
I was talking to some Mount Carmel people today, Mark and Jed, and they told me that this Veach kid is going to be better than his brother ever was. They said this guy is going to be the best running back, will set all the records in the history of Mount Carmel before he's done.
Well, he's on track to break his brother Brett's records. Just a sophomore, John Beach.
2nd and 10, no gain. Sebas on a keeper. He's caught me quick, got a big gainer, and a first down. He's still on his feet, still going around midfield. Oh, what a run that is for Sebas. Oh, is he quick. Explosive player. Gets loose for a gain of 28 and a Mount Carmel first down to the 49-yard line.
Well, we mentioned the tremendous speed of Nick Sebas. Here you're going to see it as he shakes the tackler. Good power, too. Excellent following his blockers very well. And Nick Sebas, biggest gain of the game so far, early moments. But Sebas already approaching midfield with that big run.
Watch Nick Sebas' eyes when he runs. His headlights are up all the time.
Beach big hole, has 5, has 10, into the secondary, 35. Beach 25 and out of bounds to the 21-yard line. Another big rip for Mount Carmel, and their fans are on their feet. Power running game, but the thing is they add quickness to it, and when they get outside, they know what to do with it on the corners.
And look at the work up front by the offensive line of these Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes. Look at this. These guys just are blowing Shady Side off the line of scrimmage, opening up a big hole. The field's wide open for John Beach, and like you said, look at his eyes. He's looking all around the field, looking for the holes, where his blockers are, where the defenders are. Big gain again on the second rushing play of the game for Mount Carmel.
They're not just pushing them back on the line, they're disintegrating them on the line right now. There are just nothing but holes left when they get there.
29 yards to the 22. Beach again, another big hole. Boom, pops right through there inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. It's another gain of 8, and again, the big offensive line of Mount Carmel establishing tempo in this first drive.
Watch this right here. Number 58, Mike Sinkovich. Whitey Williams calls him the best track speed guard he's ever had, better than Mike Malinowski, who went on to play at Penn State. Look at this block by number 58 on the trap right there, Springs Beach. Excellent job up front by the big horses.
Sinkovich, a great athlete, 215 pounds. It's going to be Beach again. Has the first down. Let's go about the 12-yard line. He needed 2, and that's what he got. Tackle is made by Ruggiero of Shady Side.
You're going to see it again, just following the wall. Beach shuffling along the line of scrimmage, looking for a spot, getting close to that first down marker. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Lethal combination of aggressiveness and at the same time patience, and what a great combination it is for this running attack of Mount Carmel.
Beach coming out of the game. You say it's one of the storied names in Mount Carmel football history, the Beach name. Bob Beach, Brett Beach, even father Bob Beach played for Mount Carmel back in 1968. John Beach's dad, Bob Beach, ran for over 1,200 yards and scored 22 TDs for a Mount Carmel team that went 11-1 back in 1968. Of course, brother Brett won 2 state championship rings right here at Mount Carmel, 94 and 96.
Kind of interesting, John Beach is on his way to a record in a game this year, and the assistant coach, Mr. Beach, pulled him out and said he's only a sophomore, he can wait.
All right, formation. Sebas, first down, flies to the 9-yard line. Tackle is made for Shady Side, and it is made by Justin Atkinson. Well, that's the big concern for Art Walker, the head coach at Shady Side. Will he be able to hang around as far as his down guys? You're looking at Nick Sebas. This is a guy, 4 touchdowns last week in the Eastern Final. You just saw him peel off a 28-yard run and a 75-yarder to put it away a week ago.
And you really can't crowd the line of scrimmage with Nick Sebas because he has a good arm. He'll burn you through the air.
On a keeper, looks to get outside. Great play. There's good pursuit. Dave Gampato in on the stop, along with Juris Acey that time. We'll see a lot of him on the offensive side.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Juris Acey. Acey comes up from his cornerback spot, sneaks through a couple of blockers, and makes a nice hit in the backfield. Loss of 1 on the play.
Actually banged into his own man that time, Dan Dowkins, number 71, who just got pushed back, and he bumped off him and ended up not being able to get around the outside.
That is goal to go for Mount Carmel from the 11. Pitch goes to Beach, little late. They're lucky they didn't turn that ball over. Big time tackle made by Ian Alexander of the Indians of Shady Side, making their first ever trip to the state championship. And we have a player down for Shady Side, and that player is Clarence Jackson, a 5'9", 160-pound senior. And again, you mentioned in an environment like this and in any football game, first we'll do the replay.
Well, Shady Side's defense is packed in. It's in the red zone. And so Anderson comes up from his secondary position, makes the stop on the deep pitch. Nice play by the open field tackle by Ian Anderson.
Still attending to the player, Clarence Jackson. You don't want to speculate on what it is. They're working on the lower leg area. Gary, one thing about this is you look at Art Walker there on your screen, longtime head coach of Shady Side, is that the sports medicine staff that is always here at the PIAA, I mean, they are right there, and certainly athletes have the best type of care on the field here.
Well, 15 to 20 years ago, Jed, you didn't have this kind of care, and we've seen people take it off the game in a stretcher coming back in the second half to play. What you can do now, and what we've learned about the athlete over the years, being able to let him play without possibility of injury in the long term, is really remarkable. And again, we see it here, the best facilities, the best doctors right here at the PIAA State Championships, as it should be.
3rd and 13, 9th play of this drive, initial drive of the game. 0-0, 8:30 and counting left in this first quarter.
Jake Shellhammer into the game at a wide receiver position. Mike Smith, 3 wide. Passing situation, 3rd and goal from the 13. Sebas back, blitz is coming into the end zone, looking for Smith and incomplete. Boy, they pushed the envelope coming on the blitz. Stuart Ferguson was right there in Sebas's front door, and he had to pull the trigger.
Now Sebas takes a big drop, and he starts rolling left, throwing across his body. Receivers doing a corner route. Ball just a bit overthrown.
Well, 50 cents on the dollar, the way it began, is not a bad start, as they're going to bring in Mike Sinkovich now for the field goal attempt.
Adam Frederick, great pressure from his outside linebacker spot that last play. Really didn't allow the quarterback to get his feet set in there and throw that pass with any kind of balance.
Interesting. Paracella with the ACL is on to hold. Sinkovich kick is good. He snuck it in there. And with 8:10 to go in the opening quarter, Mount Carmel drives down, uses up 11 plays. Almost 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 50 seconds exact. Oh, this is what really has hurt Mount Carmel at times this year. Penalties. Whitey Williams, mental mistake. That's going to take him out of field goal range.
We have a hold by the offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 4th down.
Oh, that is a devastating penalty here in the first quarter for Mount Carmel. Taking 3 points off the board, pushing the offensive line of scrimmage back to the 24-yard line.
Well, I think they're going to keep, yeah, here they come. I think they're going to go for it here. It'll be 4th and goal from the 23-yard line. It would be about a 41 or 42-yard attempt. Well, the way the Mount Carmel defense has played this year, Whitey Williams is going to take a shot into the end zone. Sebas has the acceleration to even run it in if need be. Now they're going to dump it over the middle. Beach can't hang on at the 23-yard line.
Oh, and the wall was set, wasn't it?
Huge lift for Shady Side right there. Beach said, wow, I had all this open space, forgot to hang on. Let's see it again.
Well, deep drop, Sebas does the right thing, sucks in the defense, lofts it over the defensive line, but a little too tall for John Veach. And they turned it over on downs. Shady Side ball.
Well, now we're going to see the high-powered octane attack of Shady Side for the first time. Frederick back, looks, throwing long for Mario Medley. Too long at midfield. Good coverage there from Nick Chesney. Nick Chesney, a transfer from Lord's Regional as we look at the Shady Side offense.
Good offensive line. They call them the cutting edge because head coach says, hey, without these guys, nothing works offensively, and these guys have performed remarkably throughout the year. There's the Shady Side offensive unit, the skilled people. Adam Frederick, fine senior quarterback.
Going with a no-huddle as Frederick steps. Blitz is coming. Down he goes at the 14-yard line. Jeff Evans blowing in for the sack. Loss all the way back to the 14. A loss of 9 overall. Frederick had no chance.
Part of the scouting report from Mount Carmel this week is the fact that only 84 yards last week for Shady Side in their win. That means we're going to be teeing off this afternoon looking for that pass regularly.
You saw Jeff Evans. He's the nose guard. He lined up right on top of the center. Number 54, Jeff Evans right there, lined up right on top of the center, shook the block, and used tremendous speed to get in there and make that big sack on Adam Frederick.
Very athletic defense for Mount Carmel, and again, very brawny up front. Frederick back on 3rd and 16. Looks down the middle, throws, pass caught, wide open. It's Scott Booker, foot race, 40 to the 30, pouring it on 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Shady Side. 84 yards on a broken play and a marker down.
Oh, my.
And it's all going to come back, we think. Holding way back upfield.
Watch this. Pretty play to watch. Yeah, but it is a hold. Looks like away from the ball. A couple of Mount Carmel defenders collide with one another. And that frees up the receiver. It's number 15, Scott Booker, and he has open spaces, but it's all coming back. Another critical penalty here in this first quarter of play.
The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
That is a big moment in this game, wiping off an 84-yard touchdown pass. Let's see if we can find the hold on screen. You see Frederick? Right there it is.
Right there. Yes, it is.
Holding him in there, and that's what freed Frederick up to get set and throw the pass.
Looks like the left tackle guilty of the hold.
You actually can take your choice in that. There are actually 2 guys holding pretty well. And
yeah.
They always say you could pick holding on every play if you really ever wanted to.
Tell you, Jeff Evans, the nose guard, was in there in a hurry once again.
Well, that woke the crowd up a little bit. An 84-yard touchdown pass that was wiped off the board. Now it's 3rd and 24 for Shady Side. Frederick, play action. Blitz is coming. Barely gets it off. And I mean, coming through the back door, Dan Daukus that time for Mount Carmel. He was lucky he didn't give up 2 points for the safety.
Well, Dan Daukus is a 6'2", 235-pound defensive end, and look at this. He's going to come flying in from the left side of your screen. There he is. Boom. And that is very dangerous for Shady Side Academy when your left side of the line can't contain. And the right-handed quarterback, you've got a tremendous blindside disadvantage.
What's even worse is when it's happening in the first series.
Well, each team has made a couple of mental mistakes on their initial possessions. Now we're done with the feeling out stage. Frederick will drop into his own end zone to punt. Going deep for Mount Carmel is John Veach and Nick Sebas, a pair of home run hitters. Gets it to turn over. Veach lets it fall. Miscommunication with Sebas, and it's going to cost him about 20 yards. Yes. You get a holy roller to the 37-yard line. That is a big break.
Sebas and Veach are talking about that right now. Sebas kind of like a, hey, I thought you had it, because Sebas actually ran up to kind of set up a block. But nonetheless, Mount Carmel will take over their second possession of the ball game. First possession, an 11-play drive, all the way down. A penalty on a hold. Took a field goal off the board. And Shady Side has already had a touchdown taken off the board.
Tell you what, Mark, a 49-yard punt will get you out of trouble in a hurry.
First and 10, handoff goes to Veach. Shady Side quick defensively, and on the stop, Rich Greer. They call him country. Reason 6'4", 240.
Hey, talking about the punting game, as we look at the replay, here's Veach heading to the line of scrimmage. A punting game is what Whitey Williams says may have cost them their only loss of the year. ACC's punter, Allentown Central Catholic, is John Ute, punted 8 times, averaging almost 40 yards per punt. They had very poor field position the entire game, and Coach Williams said that was a significant factor in that loss.
Handoff goes to Bailey. Nothing there. Now they call it a fumble, and Ruggiero has got it. Big turnover, and Shady Side gets the first big break of the game now in their favor at the Mount Carmel 34. He might have just ripped it out of there.
Well, another thing that Mount Carmel did very poorly in their only loss of the season to Allentown Central Catholic was this right here.
Exactly
turnovers. 3 turnovers in that game against Central Catholic, and here we have a big turnover early in this ball game. 6:10 to go in quarter number 1, and Shady Side's in good shape. Ball at the 33-yard line of Mount Carmel due to the fumble.
One of the biggest techniques being taught now in high school is going for that football. You saw Ruggiero actually pull up, get the football up in the air, and then had enough athleticism to go out and reach and pick it off for the fumble.
Ian Alexander dots the I. Frederick play action, walks into trouble, and down he goes at the 44 into the arms of Chris Cuff, cuffing him around. Big loss on the play of about 10. Frederick is seeing a lot of pressure.
Oh, he sure is. I'll tell you what, these deep drops are not really doing much for the offensive unit of Shady Side Academy. The speed of Mount Carmel's defense is really collapsing the pocket very quickly on Frederick.
You've heard of handcuffed? That was arm cuffed.
That's third sack already for Mount Carmel in this quarter. They've got one hurry. Adam Frederick being recruited by the Mid-American Conference. Hand off, Ian Anderson picks his way to about the 41-yard line, well short of a first down. It's going to create 3rd and 17. As you see young Ian Anderson.
Tell you what's interesting about this game in the early going, and you'll see it right here. Shady Side's quick. Mount Carmel is big and quick.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a telltale sign, I think, by the 3rd and 4th quarter. We start to talk about that fatigue factor that's so important. Right now, Shady Side playing on a lot of emotion with a lot of quickness. But I'll tell you what, over a period of time, if they can't put some points on the board, it could hurt them if Mount Carmel could use that size against them.
And about 3rd and 17, as you see on the screen, a scoreless tie for now. Frederick back, looks, jump ball for Mario Medley, and it's too far. Medley at 6'5" is a real rugged matchup for Nick Chesney at 5'9", and they're looking to exploit it, but he got too much air on it.
Even though that pass went incomplete, that was a nice piece of blocking. That was a successful offensive play, so to speak, for Shady Side. They picked up the blitz. Terry Meyer came on the blitz from his linebacker spot, and they picked it up, and Adam Frederick had some time to throw that ball.
It's going to be interesting with Frederick, the punter, whether they'll try a fake out of this before it's all said and done. You always have to be alert. Right now, Veach and Sebas go back, but anytime the quarterback is back there, you never know. They almost got to it. Tried to win an Oscar or get a nomination there on the roll-through. No sale. Steve Sinkovich was in. Now, Frederick last year in the the WPIAA final, they got run over by South Park, threw 4 interceptions and had 3 punts blocked in that game, and he almost had 1 block there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He took that loss very hard, told the team it was all my fault, but came back with a vengeance this year, had a very fine year, throwing over 1,500 yards, and led his team to Hershey and the state title game for AAA level.
I bet they fake with him before it's all said and done today. Mount Carmel on offense for the 3rd time. And off Beach. Boom and boomer to the 19, a loss on the play.
Right now, Shady Side throwing caution to the wind. They are blitzing literally on every down, trying to offset the size advantage with quickness in the blitzing.
Yeah, and here you see the quickness of linebacker Stuart Ferguson, who came on the blitz, left side linebacker. Met the ball carrier head on. Loss of 3 on the play.
Matt Van Doren is in with a play from Whitey Williams off the Mount Carmel bench. There you see the Red Tornado. They won it all in 1994. And an epic double overtime struggle with Forest Hills that roared past Tyrone in 96. Here they are again. Sebas, quick keeper. Big hole to the outside. He's a home run threat. Ball is down and out. Who's got it? Mount Carmel. That's their 2nd fumble already. Lost 1 on their last possession. This time, saving the day as I'm looking for a number. I believe for Mount Carmel on there was Jake Shellhammer.
And this is, oh boy, that ball hits the turf early before he was even really hit. Anyway, that's what you do to an over-aggressive defense. Gary mentioned that they're blitzing on every play. They're getting very aggressive, the Shady Side defense. So you throw a little misdirection in and try to get them off balance, out of discipline.
First and 10, Mount Carmel. Sebas, quick handoff. Beach step around move, has 5, has 10. Now he picks his way to midfield and a first down, a gain of 14. And Mount Carmel beginning to move it on between the tackles again.
So what do you do to offset the on-rushing defense? Mark said it. Now you have the little delayed handoff right here. You have the draw plays, the quarterback keepers. All those things will get that defense to back off a little bit.
Yeah, we're seeing a coaching chess match here. This is a very enjoyable football game to watch. 0-0. 3:20 and counting left to go in quarter number 1. Look at the Mount Carmel sidelines. And Coach Whitey Williams. Been at the helm since 1993. Took over for Jazz Dimmonen. Great head coach. Totaled over 275 victories here at Mount Carmel.
Handoff goes to Bailey. He runs headstrong into Rick Sandoval and also James Ruggiero again. Ruggiero has created a lot of turnovers out of the nose tackle position, and you get an idea of his nose for the football here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's there's some good hard-hitting play on both sides of the line here. This quarter number 1.
Scoreless tie, 2:40 and counting to go. Get an idea, some of the people made the trip from suburban Pittsburgh, from Shady Side, out here to Chocolatetown and Hershey. Another game to follow today. Nick Sebas carrying on his own. There is that man, Stuart Ferguson again, to whip him down to the 44. Loss of 5 on the play.
Well, Stuart Ferguson, he came in like a rocket, virtually untouched on the linebacker blitz. Here he is, number 80. You see him come right into the middle of your screen, and he corralled Sebas. Sebas is a very fast player. He's the fastest back that Mount Carmel has, so that gives you the kind of idea that Ferguson, the speed that Ferguson brings to the table there at 225 pounds.
Third down and 14. Double wide receiver look now for Mount Carmel. Back looking under the gun, and down he goes again. Adam Frederick, quarterback to quarterback, says not my house. Lost back to the 31 of 15 yards.
It's almost like they're saying, let's just throw caution to the wind. It's our last game. We're going to blitz literally every play until they make an adjustment and try to beat us. And right here you see it again. Frederick, the quarterback on the offensive side, doing a little disruption on the quarterback on the defensive side.
What they're doing is they're rushing the DB that time. That way their defensive line is in just in case of the counter. High end over end kick. Camping under it this time is Booker. Booker, not much room to go to the outside. Ball pops out. I think Mount Carmel's covered at the 38. They have. Trying to get that extra yardage, didn't put the ball away, and Mount Carmel makes him pay.
You know, you almost got the feeling watching that play that this was bound to happen. Because watch Booker, he starts turning, twisting, and turning, and he's not really sure where the defenders are. Look at this. He's heading one way, he's heading another way. There's red tornado all around him, and you know, that's bad news because that ball's out there, it's exposed, and it got knocked loose. Fumble, big turnover by Mount Carmel. Mickey Morose picked up the fumble, a 6-foot, 175-pound junior.
Ball at the 39. Mount Carmel getting a break, and now they call timeout with 1:08 left. Well, it's been a game of missed opportunity. An 84-yard touchdown pass. Adam Frederick, Rich Booker wiped off by a holding penalty. Penalty took 3 points off the board for Mount Carmel. Another hold, and here's the fumble again on the punt. And
for Booker, there's just a time to, you know, cut your losses and just go down, and that would have been the best decision certainly for Booker in that case.
I think Aaron Ziegler knocked it out of there.
One of the biggest things you see right now in high school football, we alluded to it early in the show here, is the reaching for the ball, the stripping of the ball. That's a technique that's taught now on a regular basis. I'd say 20 years ago, you didn't see that taught like that, Mark.
That's right. And you have to. That's right. That is a certain skill, and then teams do practice that. As we look at the Red Tornado cheering squad, perfect football atmosphere, beautiful football weather, still gray skies. Sun is not a factor. Wind is not a factor.
Actually, that helps Shady Side an awful lot. The sun here can really be rough when you're looking into it. Perfect, optimum conditions. Sebas handoff Beach. That hole flows quickly. Slams it forward to about the 36 for a gain of 3. The numbers on Beach this year are just incredible. He's got 26 touchdowns.
Beach's dad, you mentioned Bob, is an assistant coach with Mount Carmel. One of the storied names in Mount Carmel football history.
There's another name that's becoming storied right now. Whitey Williams, 87, 26-1 in 10 years, 69-10 in 5 seasons at Mount Carmel, and also 2 championships to go with that, building his own legend as he moves along.
Beach has got 9 carries for 49 yards. This is Bailey with it. Bailey, not much room to roam. Wings it forward to about the 34 before he's stopped by Adam Frederick. Al Bailey's a 5'10", 175-pounder. He's a junior. They're really lucky to even get this play running.
Yeah. Missed connection on the snap from the center to quarterback Nick Sebas. Picked up some positive yardage. Nonetheless, it'll be 3rd down and about 5.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play. Most entertaining opening 12 minutes. As you see Whitey Williams walking in to talk to his offense now with a 3rd and 5 call. PIAA presents, in association with the Pennsylvania Cable Network, High School Championship Football. Going statewide for the first time this weekend. Yesterday in Single A, Rochester with an 18-0 win against Southern Columbia to claim the Single A championship. And in Triple A last night, Allentown Central Catholic with a resounding performance on defense to rub out Moon Township by the final of 10-0. Mount Carmel and Shady Side opening up day number 2, so far scoreless. Jed Donahue, along with Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey, and her entire WITF production crew in partnership with the PIAA and PCN, wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
A little carryover value, too, from last night. The only loss in today's game for both teams came from the aforementioned Allentown Central Catholic team. We saw Mr. Ute in action last night. Mark mentioned him earlier. A 43-yard field goal to pretty much salt that one away last night. Allentown Central, the champions already, and one of these 2 teams trying to get it here this afternoon.
Yeah, we mentioned Ute. Whitey Williams, coach for Mount Carmel, says Ute was one of the big reasons why Allentown Central Catholic defeated Mount Carmel. His tremendous punts, about a 40-yard average through 8 punts in the ball game, had Mount Carmel pinned in very poor field position throughout the game.
He's rolling. Looks, he's going to be hit short of a first down. Another great play. Adam Frederick is in on the play, along with Rich Greer again. Well, big country, big player, big play, big hit. Big loss to the 35.
Yeah, here we see Nick Sebas really nowhere to go. That pocket collapsed almost immediately. You know, should be no surprise that this game is scoreless after 1 quarter. As far as the points allowed for each defense, Mount Carmel have allowed about 8 points per game. Meanwhile, Shady Side, about 8 points per game, and they rank 18th and 20th, respectively, in the state.
Sebas back on 4th and 6. Going to keep it himself. Now unloads. Pass caught. First down to the 14. Matt Van Doren came back to help Sebas out that time. First down, Mount Carmel. Gain of 21 and a first down, Red Tornado.
And you want to know how well this ball was thrown? Scott Booker has this totally covered downfield. Misses it by about a finger. Watch this pass right on the numbers. There's Booker, and it's right there.
That's a nice dart to Matt Van Doren. Lined up left, cut across the middle right. Sebas, the quarterback, you could see it on the replay, saw him the whole way, waited till he broke free of the coverage, and zipped the dart in there. Big pass play for Mount Carmel.
Rhythmic chant for the Mount Carmel faithful. Handoff, John Beach. Breaks 1 tackle, slithers and slides to the 10. A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 now as Mount Carmel beginning to knock on the door again. This is their 2nd deep trip inside the red zone.
This is a nice piece of running by John Beach. Watch, it just stops. Slips a tackle right there. Looked like he was going to be tackled at about the 15-yard line, but dove ahead for about 5 more yards. So real nice running by the sophomore John Beach.
Don't want to make too many empty trips in here, especially in a state championship environment. Both offenses highly flammable. They can light up at any moment. Sebas on a keeper. Naked bootleg. Big hole to the outside. To the 5. 3-2-1 touchdown. Mount Carmel. Sebas roars in from 10.
Watch the work of guard Mike Sinkovich, number 58. He's out there leading the pack. There he is. Boom. Great seal block. And right there, Sebas uses his speed from about the 7-yard line on in to get into the end zone for the first score of this ball game.
One of the weirder looking extra point shifts that you will see. Sinkovich on for the extra point. Not often you see an offensive lineman. It's kind of a Lou Groza look. Bang, right down the middle. 7-0. Mount Carmel with 10:16 to go here in the opening quarter. An impressive drive set up by the turnover on the punt return by Shady Side. Here's Nick Sebas, only a junior.
What sells this run is the fact he's showing pass the whole time as he's rounding the corner, freezes the linebackers, and ends up dancing into the end zone. First touchdown of the game belongs to Mount Carmel. They're up 7-0.
It's a long drive, 6 plays, 61 yards. Set up by the fumble on the punt return. Well, Shady Side now getting a chance to counter back on offense. They haven't exactly been out there that often. Mount Carmel has really controlled the clock, and Joel Bechtel is at the game, our executive producer.
That guy's in a room with not a lot of lights on sometimes. That's an interesting outfit there this afternoon. Only thing he's missing is Mom, send money.
Well, there's no doubt of what his rooting interest is.
He's buckled up. He's got the chin strap buckled up, ready to go for this one.
We were coming up to the press box and noticed him right away. Mike Sinkovich to kick off. And here we go. High deep kick. That's going right into the end zone, and it's a touchback. I don't think they think the big guy could knock it that hard. This is a pretty good look. 1st and 10, Shady Side of the 20-yard line. Keep in mind they've had an 84-yard pass play called back, touchdown called back, but even though that didn't result in points, don't think for a second that that is looming over the Mount Carmel defense a little bit.
That's
they know
right.
that full well.
That's right. The Shady Side sidelines, they know that, they're a quick strike offense. They can hit the home run at any time in this ball game, and you know, believe me, with the skill people they have, they will swing for the fences sometime in this ball game.
We talked about on the one side Whitey Williams, on the other side Art Walker, formerly the coach at Mount Lebanon. 206, 74, and 6 over 21 years of coaching, 6 WPIAL titles.
Denver Juro slams it forward to the 22-yard line. Tackle is made by Ronnie Lentini, sophomore, 5'11", 165-pounder. Well, Ruggiero is a guy 6'2", 240 mark. I mean, there's nothing subtle about this guy at all. It's just power.
No, Ruggiero, one of the best fullbacks. Brownsville's coach Bartholomew said that, hey, he's the best fullback I've seen in many, many years. So yeah, he's opened some eyes out there in the Pittsburgh area.
Single coverage on Mario Medley off your screen. He's 6'5". Here's Frederick back again, looking, down he goes. 4th sack of the day for Mount Carmel. 2nd of the afternoon for Dan Daukus, 6'3", 235. Steaming in through the back door.
There's that blind side pressure once again. That is ever so dangerous. And I'll tell you what, Adam Frederick did a good job just hanging on to that ball. Here we see it once again. Frederick has no idea that Daukus is steaming in from that side.
We got to try to get a little bit of isolation over the left side of that line there, because Daukus is just owning the left side and getting in on that blind side every single time.
3rd and 16 for Shady Side. 9:01 left here in the 2nd quarter. They're down 7-0. Frederick, play action, now delayed handoff for Juro. Mount Carmel worked that out. And a big tackle is made by Mike Sinkovich. And here they come. They're on their feet on the Mount Carmel side.
3 sacks in the game so far for Mount Carmel, and they're really getting it done. And I'll tell you, that battle over there with Daukus against Khalil Bay is unbelievable.
That's Jason Malakowski, 6'4", 260 on the sack. I read the number. He's a big-time player. Has been here for 3-year starter.
6'4", 280. You might command a little respect out there.
It does get your attention, doesn't it? Frederick to punt. Unwinds a 9-iron shot. Takes a Shady Side roll and drops to the 40-yard line. Great field position again. Extracurricular. Mario Medley dropped Mickey Moroz to the ground, and the Mount Carmel people want a 15-yard personal foul penalty. No sale, but that's something the officials are going to talk to both teams about. You really got to maintain your poise, Gary. You can't get sportsmanlike type penalties in a situation like this, especially with Mount Carmel dealing with a short field right now. There's Whitey Williams.
Individual battles have no place in this game except within the team structure along the line, and you don't want to get into that kind of unsportsmanlike conduct.
Pitch goes to Veach. Picks his way forward, has 5, has 10 into the secondary, 25-20, and all the way down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 26 yards for John Veach. That's his third big gainer today of over 20 yards. And you just see how coffee quick this guy is to the spot. In the vision again, Mark.
Look at the way he reads that blocking up front. That was an excellent job. He was going to cut it to the outside a little bit, but they found a nice hole inside and took it inside the 20-yard line. And boy, he is one tremendous tailback. Has great vision. Eyes are always up, looking ahead.
First and 10. Here comes Mount Carmel again. Beach big hole to the outside. 5 touchdown. Mount Carmel 14 yards. A 2-play drive this trip. All of it John Beach.
14-yard touchdown run by John Beach for the Red Tornado.
The left side of that Mount Carmel line is just blowing out. Shady Side right here. Watch this. Left side, by the time he gets to the line, it's already 2 yards in. Everybody's down. Nothing but running room into the end zone. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, Gary. That left side of the line is just having their way with Shady Side's defensive front. John Beach, he knows what to do with it once they put the ball in his hands.
Zinkovic gets it through there. Quick timeout on the field now with 7:34 to go. 14-0 Mount Carmel. Well, for Shady Side, possibly a patient ER right now, down 14-0, and they are getting run over.
Shady Side expended a lot of energy early in this ball game. We're in the second quarter right now. A lot of energy, a lot of emotion, but right now you're seeing ball control starting to wear them down maybe very early in this game. A little bit deeper Mount Carmel team, a little bit bigger Mount Carmel team, and that ball control, time of possession, wearing out a Shady Side defense.
Well, you can certainly see why Coach Whitey Williams of Mount Carmel says that his offensive line has played extremely well in every game they've been in this year. These guys work tremendously well as a unit. Veach, 2 plays, 40 yards. Veach both carries, 13-yard run for the second touchdown of the ball game for Mount Carmel. With a 14-0 lead, second quarter.
Art Walker said this is the biggest, quickest team they will play all year, and so far his worst nightmares have come true.
You know, John Veach reminds people of his brother in a lot of other ways than just the last name. He has the same type of running style as his brother, but Coach Whitey Williams says there is a difference. Brett Veach, the older brother, a little bit more easygoing. He's now at the University of Delaware. John is much more intense, very aggressive.
Speaking of John Veach, 12 carries for 91 yards already in the second quarter.
Garris AC. Down at the 20-yard line. There was just nowhere to hide here.
Look at this. Slips right through the wedge, meets the ball carrier head on. That's a good stick. That's a great special teams play right there. Number 28, Al Bailey. 5'10" junior.
Jed, even though we're in the second quarter, you just feel right now like Shady Side has got to answer with some points right here, or this game might be well on its way out of town.
Offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Keep first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Art Walker, the head coach at Shady Side, better start putting some fingers in whatever holes are existent right now, because Mount Carmel is on the pedal ready to turn this thing into a blowout.
Art Walker,
Shady Side really needs to mount a drive.
Yeah, Art Walker's trying to think, boy, I can't let this thing get away from me any more than it already has. We've got to get some control back in this ballgame right now.
Frederick play action. Looking, now throws down the middle behind AC, incomplete at the 29-yard line. Had decent protection. That's good. They'll buy him time with a waggle look getting out of the pocket that time.
Shady Side with only 22 yards of total offense so far in this football game. And right here again, you see looking downfield, but nothing available. Had a man just threw a little bit high on him. Problem for Shady Side so far is they've not established any kind of running game, and Mount Carmel knows it.
Well, Jason Malakowski, it's, as you mentioned, Gary, 6'4", about 260, 265. You see that coming in your vision, you're like,
And you know, Shady Side can run the football. They've got 2 1,000-yard rushers in that backfield. So this is kind of new to them, not being able to establish a running game.
Quick hitter, AC. He's across the 20 to the 23-yard line, where he's gathered and dropped.
That's a tough 3 yards.
Talk about total dominance. The first 3 possessions this afternoon for Shady Side, it's just been 3 and out. And right here, looks like there might be a little bit of running room. That shuts down in a hurry with that red tornado.
Ronnie Montini, he's only a sophomore. Every time we've done Mount Carmel, there's always seen this group of sophomores that you see on this roster, and you go, No, they're going to be good for a while. That's what happens when you build a tradition of winning like Mount Carmel has had. 3rd and 7. It seemed like we were calling that. Frederick back down the middle. AC heard footsteps just a bit too far out in front. Steve Sinkovich in on the coverage that time. It'll be 4th down for Shady Side. 3 and out again. They really had to move the chains.
Yeah, linebacker Steve Sinkovich drops back into coverage, and he's got AC lined up. Good play by the linebacker Steve Sinkovich.
The mental specter of that front line of Mount Carmel is really weighing heavily right now on Frederick as he's rushing just about every pass he's throwing.
Got another flag that comes down.
Maybe too many men on the field. I don't know if Nick Chesney got off the field in time.
Substitution infraction on the defense. Penalty will be 5 yards. Mark it off the previous spot.
Now, the officials did have a meeting before the kickoff. And I think they were talking possibly about watch for the extra hits, watch for possible infractions. And I think they probably saw a trend with substitution patterns in that opening quarter. So that's kind of a warning now for each. It's 4th and 2 now for Shady Side. Creates possibly an interesting option here, although I'm sure he's going to kick it away. Nick Sebas is deep, standing back at his own 43-yard line off your screen. Adam Frederick. So they tried the late snap, trying to get it to go over. Now he gets it out of there. Takes a Shady Side roll. Pretty good kick under the circumstances to the 45-yard line, but again, Mount Carmel dealing with excellent field position. This is an explosive, high-octane attack. If you give it the short field, you get half 100 hung up on you in a big hurry.
27-yard punt that time. And again, as you said, Jed, setting up with great field position, and Mount Carmel winning the battle of field position throughout the afternoon here thus far.
It's a big, big series defensively for that Shady Side defense right there. They have got to come up with a play down 14-0 here in the AA championship. Wherever you are in Pennsylvania today, great to have you with us. NCAA championships. Nick Sebas, he's explosive. Here's why inside the 40 all the way down to the Shady Side 35-yard line.
When you've sent the offense off the field 4 times with 3 and out, that means the defense is staying on the field for a lot of plays. We're starting to see the
down
effects
at the end of the play.
And once again, number 58 seals that side with a great block. That's Mike Sinkovich as Sebas takes it upfield, uses his speed.
Foul, personal foul on the defense.
Oh boy. Shady Side beginning to lose a little bit of composure now in this ball game with 6:23 to go in this first half of play. Shady Side trailing 14-0. There you see Sebas hit the hole after the great block by Sinkovich. He takes it downfield. Now, the penalty is, of course, at the tail end of this play. You get some piling on right there.
3 enemies of a trailing team right now: fatigue, desperation, and frustration. And right now we're seeing desperation and frustration kind of set in a little bit on Shady Side, even though we have 6:23 just to go in the second quarter.
20-yard run by Nick Sebas. 15 yards after that. All the way down to the Shady Side 20. Riding the lead. John Beach cutting it to the outside. Bounces like a bumper car to the 18-yard line. Well, right off Matt Van Doren, his own teammate, I believe.
Boy, I'll tell you, John Beach looks like he's 100% to me. Suffered a hip pointer in last week's Eastern Final, but they said he got some treatments throughout the week and is less than 100%, they said, but playing a whale of a ball game here in the first half, leading Mount Carmel to a 14-0 lead. Beach with one of the touchdowns in his first half of play. 14-yard scamper at the 7:34 mark of quarter number 2.
You saw Clarence Gilcrease and Mario Medley step up quickly there, making a great tackle along the line of scrimmage.
Sebas on a rollout to the strong side. Cuts it upfield all the way down to the 11-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short. Gain of about 7 or 8 on the play. Oh, Nick Sebas, when you have a quarterback that can do this to the strong side of the field, oh, that's very entertaining, and that's extremely tough for a defense to get their keys.
You read my mind. I mean, when you have an athletic quarterback such as Nick Sebas, who is not only strong but fast, good passer, good ball carrier, I mean, he just presents so many headaches for an opponent to defense. You can't pack the line of scrimmage. He'll burn you through the air. Then if you do drop back into coverage, you're opening up some running lanes for the quarterback.
3rd and 2, Mount Carmel. Handoff Beach, slithers forward for the first down. It'll be goal to go at the Shady Side 7-yard line. One thing about this offensive line that makes it so impressive is they might miss one play, say on the recent Beach run, but they're not going to miss 2 or 3 in a row, and that's what makes them so daunting today.
Look at that blocking up front. Tremendous job. You know, another guy, we haven't called his name much, but I mean, his presence has been felt. That's John Else, 6'1", 280 pounds. And boy, he is a tremendous handful. They call him Uke, as in Euclid coal truck. He's bigger than a bus.
Caper. Nobody home to the other side. And a touchdown, Mount Carmel. 3 straight possessions. 3 straight trips to the end zone. 20-0. Well, Red Tornadoes, they're aptly named. For Shady Side right now, the insurance people are at the site. It's ugly.
Well, it worked last time. He said, why not try it again? This is touchdown number 3, but right in a row, the second straight time quarterback keeper, the second straight time you dive into the end zone, and another score from Mount Carmel, 20-0, 4:24 to go in the second quarter.
Second of the day already now for Sebas. There you see that shift.
You know, you talked about Euclid, and he's basically the first team All-Stater from last year.
That's right.
Snap, and they blocked there.
Chance he might make it again this year?
Coming in on the block was Rich Greer. Well, that's something positive anyway, but the Mount Carmel fans really beginning to smell it. Here's Nick Sebas, trip to the end zone, his second of the day.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, offensive line, once again, a great job to seal that lane. Nick Sebas uses his speed to get to the end zone once again. His second touchdown of the ball game. And Mount Carmel in control, 20-0, 4:24 to go in this first half of play.
Does 5 plays, 55 yards. That took 2:04.
The idea
Impressive football team.
Idea so far for Mount Carmel is keep that defense on the field for Shady Side, pound them a little bit, and it's wearing them out right now.
4:24. There's Whitey Williams. Well, let's go play Art Walker for me a second here, Gary. You're down 20-0. You've been run over the last 5 minutes or so. I mean, what are you trying to do right now?
Well, you're trying to instill a sense of urgency without a sense of desperation in your team, and that's a hard, fine line to walk. And if you're Art Walker right now, I say we just have to get back to what we do well. Let's try to get a score before the end of the half. Just get back in the game. We're not going to do it all at once. We didn't get down all at once. So let's take our time, get a quality drive, and put some points on the board.
Well, an 84-yard touchdown pass wiped out up by a penalty. Sinkovich, this Mario Medley on the short return to the 38-yard line. Oh, Mount Carmel's really playing well right now. That was Ron Lentini again in on the stop for the Red Tornadoes. For Shady Side, they have 3 timeouts to work with and 4:19 worth of clock.
I'll tell you what, if you're a football coach and if you're Whitey Williams right now, head coach of Mount Carmel, you're wondering, well, what can we do to improve upon this second quarter performance? Well, the first quarter was fairly impressive, but they made a couple of mistakes, and that is they put the ball on the floor early. A couple of key fumbles in the first quarter from Mount Carmel. That's one of the things I'm sure that Whitey Williams is going to talk to his team about. No turnovers the rest of the way.
Frederick back, looks down the middle, intercepted by Terry Meyer. The 48-yard line, he underthrew his intended receiver, Mario Medley.
Well, Mario Medley, he draws some attention when he runs his routes. This time, Meyer, the linebacker, drops back into coverage, and he picks off the ball, thrown a little bit behind Medley. Great interception by Meyer.
He and Nick Chesney transferred from Lourdes Regional after Nick Chesney's dad was let go as the head coach after a 3-7 season. Meyer wanted to stick around at Lourdes, and then they were saying some derogatory things, supposedly, about Coach Chesney, and so he joined Nick Chesney here at Mount Carmel. Right now, he's glad he did. He is in Chocolatetown, USA. His team is on the lead, 20-0, and back on offense. First and 10 of the 49. Sebas back again. Now he's going to keep it himself. All kinds of open spaces to the 40. To the 35 and to the 32-yard line, a gain of 17, and this is what you get when your quarterback can run out of the pocket. You create all kinds of different mismatches downfield.
Coming to this game this afternoon, Nick Sebas had 135 rushes for 846 yards, 16 TDs. He's added to that this afternoon, and here's why.
What do you say, Gary? Speed kills. Look at him just beat Number 80 to the corner. That is Stuart Ferguson, and Stuart Ferguson's got some speed. He's a very fast linebacker. We've seen him very effective on the blitz in his first half of play, but Sebas just displaying his speed.
Handoff Beach, boom, big hole. Has 5, has 7 or 8 more down to the 23-yard line. Well, listen, now another flag goes down, and I think they got Ian Alexander.
Hold up, Chuck.
Let's go down to the field here.
That ball fall against Red.
This is going to go against Mount Carmel.
Is it here?
That ball fall. Personal foul on the offense. Penalty 15 yards. It was 27. 27.
Got Matt Van Doren for something in there.
I think he might have uttered a little disagreement in there somewhere. I'm not sure. And officials right on top. I'll tell you what, we've seen great officiating throughout this entire weekend. Hats off to the officials' crews. Let's take a look and see if we can see anything physical here.
That's a big play. There's.
Oh, there it is. Maybe an elbow up to the face or something like that. Just
that happened before, and then
before the camera got there.
Alexander knocked him away. 3:34 to go. Well, again, they have given up some big penalties this year. That's about the only thing Mount Carmel has done to slow themselves down.
Yeah, that couple of first quarter fumbles, and other than that, it's been a picture-perfect first half for Coach Whitey Williams.
Very much. 2nd and 18 now at the 39. Sebas comes under center. Double wideouts. Big shell hammer. Van Doren is in. Sebas back. Blitz is coming as a man looks. Intercepted and dropped. Alexander had it in his grasp. Great play on the other end. Chris Cup, the tight end, turns into a defensive back and saves the possession on this play.
Yeah, here you're going to see Sebas take the roll out to the left. Has his intended receiver downfield. That's Chris Cup, but he slips and falls. And at that point, like you said, Jed, Cup becomes the defender and does everything he can to knock the ball out of Alexander's hands, and he did just that.
3rd and 18 now for Mount Carmel.
Ian Alexander, 6'3", 210-pound senior. One of the fine running backs for Shady Side. Alexander rushed for over 1,000 yards and 20 touchdowns this season.
Sebas under center. Play action. Blitz is coming. Now they throw it over to the other side. Medley can't hang on, and a sure interception in his grasp at the 45. Good pressure this time from Shady Side. That's a big defensive stand for the Indians. They had to have it there, down 20-0, and they come up big.
You want to talk about a potential of 6. Watch this. Nobody in front. Passes up in the air. If he spears that one, Mr. Medley, he's off to the races.
Yeah, there was absolutely nobody in front of Mario Medley at that point. But did you see the effort by John Veach? Even after that ball's heading to the turf, he's still trying to fight to get that thing.
It's going to be Jairus AC, and his knee touched the ground at the 5-yard line. Once your knee hits, that's it. 3:03 left to go in the opening half. Another marker is down. It's been a penalty-filled opening half here in the championship in AA. Jed Donahue, joined by the coach, Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey, our entire WITF production crew in partnership with the PIAA and the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Going statewide throughout the Keystone State for the first time with all 4 championship games.
So we 5 right now, go back to the previous 5.
Officials debating what's going on with this call.
I think they were calling that he waved for the fair catch and then tried to run it.
You're getting 5 yards. That's your ball. It's pre-possession. No.
3:03.
Hang on.
Yeah, what happened was there were 2 men deep.
Invalid fair catch on the receiving team. The penalty is declined. First down.
Here's Mike Melnick, veteran official.
What happened was there were 2 men deep, Booker and Alexander. Booker waved for the fair catch. The other guy actually caught the ball. That's where the infraction.
On the ball at the 6-yard line, the Indians take over. 1st and 10, Shady Side.
You know, we were talking about Chesney earlier. Terry Meyer and Chesney both transferred from Lourdes Regional. Chesney's dad moved on to be an assistant coach at Susquehanna. In fact, Chesney with pretty good pedigree too. His brother plays football down at Dickinson. So family that loves football, and a negative situation turned into a pretty positive one for one Mr. Chesney.
Took too much time. I mean, they were just hee-hawing around there.
That ball foul. Delay a game on the offense. Penalty 5 yards. in the previous spot, repeat first down.
Shady Side's totally out of whack.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're Art Walker, I would imagine that you just can't wait to get your team into the locker room at halftime, settle this thing down, and try to establish, you know, some tempo, calm them down a little bit, because we've definitely seen a little bit of a loss of composure here on the part of Shady Side in the second quarter.
That's the 4th penalty now for 35 yards in the game against Shady Side.
Shady Side won a hair pull from Sharon in the Western Final, won it with 24 seconds to go. Ruggiero powers his way to the 6th. Gary, when you haven't been in a real wire job all season long, now they were last week, neither of these teams, as we look at Ruggiero and just the swarming nature of this defense, how tough is it, say, when you get in this kind of hole for Shady Side and you've been basically riding big leads all year?
Well, your winning margin all year has been like an average of 32 points a game, and so you're used to playing that. You get a certain mentality, and all of a sudden, here's a team that shows up and is playing in the first quarter. You say, whoa, 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 what's this landscape? We haven't seen this before. It can be shocking.
Now Carmel's playing single coverage. Long outlet. Medley almost intercepted. Chesney had it right through the wickets. He has 9 interceptions on the season to lead Mount Carmel, and he knows he missed one there with 2:23 to go in the opening half. It'll be 3rd and 10 now for Shady Side.
Well, we talked earlier about Shady Side trying to swing for the fences. Here's one of those home run cuts as they sent Medley on a fly down the left side of the sideline, but ball overthrown, nearly picked off.
You know, you're talking about playing a type of team, Jed, and then how you get ready if you've been blowing teams out all year. Mount Carmel on the other side has played in Allentown Central Catholic, you know, a team like South Columbia, you know, teams that have been here in the championships already. They played a tough schedule.
Frederick loads, and Chesney's got the coverage again, and the frustration beginning to mount now for Shady Side. Mario Medley, the intended receiver again.
Frustration has now crossed the threshold into desperation here as Shady Side just throwing it up.
Yeah, here you see the overthrown ball, and now when you say frustration, watch the reaction of the hands are up on Mario Medley, number 88, and he is very frustrated at this point. Takes this slow walk back to the huddle, and the Shady Side guys, you know, their heads are down right now, but that's why Art Walker can't wait to get him into the locker room and try to pick this team up again.
Frederick 1 for 7 now, passing as he drops back to punt. Gets it high into the air, gets it to turnover. Fair catch, Veach to the 38-yard line. One thing, by not getting a first down, Mount Carmel now with the ball at the Shady Side 38-yard line. 2 timeouts and 2 minutes and 10 seconds to work with. They have all day to get back in there.
Well, right now, if you're Whitey Williams on the other side, you want to say, I don't want to have Art Walker be able to think about anything at halftime. I want to throw the knockout punch right here. 2:10 to go. They've got the ball at the 37, and Art Walker over there trying to make sure his team can maybe stand up one more time and get to the locker room with a chance to play for something in the second half.
Mike Smith into the game at a wide receiver position now, along with Jake Shellhammer. Sebas into the shotgun. He can run as well as pass. This time loading long, got a man wide open, caught, touchdown, John Veach, 36 yards, and just like that, Mount Carmel has scored again.
Watch this. John Veach is not picked up his entire route. John Veach comes out of the backfield. He lines up in the slot, actually, and Sebas has him the whole way, and nobody in the secondary of Shady Side ever picks up John Veach. Look how wide open he is. Hauls it in at the 5, scampers in, touchdown, John Veach.
They flooded 3 different lanes going downfield, all deep routes, and then crossed a man underneath, and it opened up John Veach right in the middle as the outsides were covered, but the middle was wide open.
Yep.
3 straight routes, straight down the middle of the field. Pick one of them out, and you got a touchdown.
They had 2 wide left, Veach in the slot, and Veach untouched downfield, never picked up at all, and Sebas, perfect pass, hauls it in at the 5-yard line. Then from there on in, it's all John Veach.
Talk about the great eye contact of Sebas. He looks left, sets up the cornerback back there, then came back to the middle and caught Veach right down that lane.
Well, they're drawing up a 2-point play right now, as you see Whitey Williams with his back to you. Well, Mount Carmel, there's a lot of people who believe that they're among the pantheon in the state this year. It doesn't matter about the alphabet soup if you want to go quad through single A. This is definitely, I think, one of the 3 best teams in the state. I don't care what bracket you want to talk about. This has been one of the most impressive performances you could ever see in a state championship environment. I mean, this is a real good outfit. Shady Side, as you look at them, I'm sure they're just shell-shocked from what they've seen.
Well, you know what, Jed? We've been doing the state championships on television since 1993, and many predicted that this would be the jewel of the 4 games this weekend, that this would be probably the tightest and most entertaining of the games this weekend. But that just shows you the power of Mount Carmel on this 1998 team. I mean, you're right. This is one of the most impressive first halves of play I've seen from any state championship team.
Davis on a keeper himself, winds his way forward, and is going to get caught short. Great play for Shady Side, made that time by Ryan Rich to get him from behind. So with 2:02 to go in the opening half, 26-0, Mount Carmel. It's been impressive.
One play, 36 yards, 8 seconds. Those are the kind of plays you'd like to draw up as a coach and see work. This is the only time all day this particular play hasn't gone for a score.
That's because they're dealing with a short field from the 2.5. The guy at the 40, he's got some room to play with.
Coach Whitey Williams is standing there going, darn, we're not perfect today.
Well, they've made a couple of penalties. I mean, any coach will tell you.
Yeah, a couple of penalties.
Interesting luck. Go ahead, Mark.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. A couple of first quarter penalties, but those penalties, if you remember, they occurred very early in the game, and Mount Carmel has more or less overcome those penalties. One penalty took a field goal off the board. So, you know, Whitey Williams settled his team down, and they got the jitters out. Okay, we're in the state championship game. Yeah. And then that has to kind of key up a little bit. But now they're just playing another football game, and they're letting it fly all over the field right now.
But the one thing they've been able to do this afternoon, there's 2 A's. You go out and you attack or you adjust. You want to be in the position when you attack so the other guy has to adjust. And Whitey Williams right now is sitting on the throne.
Still 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the opening half. Mount Carmel scoring in less than 30 seconds on that last drive. Here comes Clarence Gilcrease. Got the 23-yard line, and then Mike Smith gathers him in from there. Another flag goes down as they're hitting after the bell. See, this is referees.
White, number 80, block in the back.
The block in the back, as you heard right there. So that's going to be 15 yards against Shady Side. Talk about an undertow. You're seeing it right here. It's been all red tornadoes. As good as Mount Carmel has been, why are coaches so hard to please? You're up 26-0 right now. You're in firm control. Yet Whitey Williams, I'm sure, can pick 10 or 15 things off the top.
Well, it's a great question, Chad, and the answer is this, that you're always playing your potential. You want to come in and you want to play the best game, and all of a sudden you're playing against yourself right now. If you're Mount Carmel, yeah, you've still got Shady Side out there, but you want to make sure that you show the people what you can do, what the kids have learned during the course of the year. You're still an educator, and at Mount Carmel, it's even a little bit worse because that tradition always haunts you. The Jazz Dimonix, the Dan Ficas, all those names still swirl around, and you're out there today with just another edition of a Mount Carmel team that has built such a great tradition over all the years.
Shady Side on offense. A much fun and passing attack has yet to get out of the driveway today, with the exception of a callback 84-yard run. Ruggiero streams forward to the 19-yard line.
You know, Shady Side, they're used to establishing a running game, and this is their inside punch. Ruggiero, his big fullback, one of the nicest fullbacks in the WPIAL, according to many of the coaches. And their outside punch is Ian Alexander, number 7. But neither of those guys have been able to get on track today. Credit to Mount Carmel defense, a swarming, speedy defense.
The other problem too is all these guys are two-way players, and all of a sudden, all that time on defense may be, hurting them now on offense.
Ruggiero, bang, down he goes. That is a big-time stick by Steve Sinkovich. He's 5'10", 195, but he packs a wallop.
Yeah, look at this out of his linebacker spot. Steve Sinkovich comes up and lays a lick on Ruggiero. And Ruggiero's no small kid. He's 240 pounds, but boy, Sinkovich really put him to the turf. When Sinkovich under 200 pounds, but, Mount Carmel defenders, they bring a lot of heart to the table, too, and that's something you just can't measure on the stat sheet.
That explosion that Ruggiero probably normally has on offense has been expended so many times this afternoon on defense, as with the other players from Shady Side. It's very, very tough now to have that same kind of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm when you're down 26-0 and you're trying to get those legs moving hard on offense. There's determination.
There's a lot of different adjectives that you can use right now.
Determination, despondency.
This is a relatively new team into the WPIAL and really into the PIAA situation. We saw them back in 1995 put on a clinic in basketball across the way here at the Hershey Park Arena. Peter Sauer, who's now playing at Stanford, was on their Final Four team a year ago. Bill Cleona. That was a great ball game.
It's one of the great teams we ever saw that year. That was another situation where you can take any number of class you want. That team might have been the class of all four that year.
There was something. Well, they're the Shady Side faithful going, well, is there a 28-point play in this game? Adam Frederick back again on 3rd and 3. Whirls it forwards, got the first down. That's David Gamcato. Their first down of the day. Granted, they had an 84-yard touchdown pass called back by a holding penalty in the opening quarter.
It's a nice play, kind of like a quarterback waggle, gets him out of the pocket. You got to get away from this aggressive defense, and sent the intended receiver, David Gambatko, on a cross across the middle and picked up the first down.
All right,
nice
Gary, when you're
play.
sorting through the rubble, you take every little victory that you can get, right, to piece it together. At this point, a first down it's a start.
Can't get the second first down until you get the first one. So there you go. You got to walk before you can run.
There goes Frederick under the gun. Throws, pass, dropped by Medley. He's having a tough afternoon getting open, and then when he is open, he couldn't hang on.
Mark brought up a good point a moment ago where we saw the pocket pass before. We're now seeing sprint outs constantly. Again, buy a little bit more time by sprinting out. We see it here again as Frederick looking downfield throws a pretty good pass. Should have probably been caught, but instead dropped, and that's been the kind of afternoon it's been so far for Shady Side.
Medley, a great player, 6'5", 195-pounder. You got to give a lot of credit, too, to what Nick Chesney has been able to accomplish with him. Single coverage. I mean, Mount Carmel not intimidated at all. Harris Acey and also Medley coming in. Much ballyhoo, but Mount Carmel's played him straight up. Hand off for Alexander. Down he goes into a pile of red at the 26-yard line. Malachowski is there. His brother Mike played at Penn State, started there for the Nittany Lions under Joe Paterno.
There you see Alexander trying to take it inside, but nothing doing in the Mount Carmel defense. Yeah, that's one thing that Whitey Williams likes about his Mount Carmel defense is the speed of the secondary. You know, almost essential back there. But this is an extremely fast secondary, and of course back there at the free safety spot, you got Nick Cetus, and he's one of the fastest guys in the field as well.
There's your time remaining in the opening half. It's been all MCA, and here they come for the encore. The hurry. Dan Daukus, who has 2 sacks in this opening half. He has just been unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, someone's got to figure out a way to block Dan Daukus out of his defensive end spot. He's coming in on the blind side on quarterback Adam Frederick, and I'll tell you, he is creating havoc back there.
Between Ruggiero and Alexander, they have over 2,000 yards this year for Shady Side. If you want to know how dominating the defense has been for Mount Carmel in the first half, 11 yards between the two.
Domination with a capital D. 26-0. Frederick's going to have to call timeout now. Looks like there's some confusion. Well, they don't carry over into the second half. Might as well know what you're doing here. You don't want to have a disastrous type of play.
Kind of a little-known rule in this point of the ball game.
The District 3 championship game with Cumberland Valley and Central Dauphin. Go ahead, Mark.
The receiving team, Mount Carmel in this instance, can fair catch the ball and then set up for a free kick, a field goal attempt from wherever they spot the ball at the fair catch point.
Well, 8 seconds to go.
Could this be a situation where as a quarterback you just start to run a little bit and try to eventually put your knee down? Or?
Well, I'm looking out the window where we are. It is a sea of red down here.
Corner to corner.
What a wonderful tradition. 678 wins over the years. Probably, you know, you got to talk about Newcastle. You got to talk about Mount Carmel. 2 of the most storied programs in the state, both playing here in the state championships this year in Hershey.
If you're watching us here on PCN and Mount Carmel, it's good to have you with us. I'm sure there aren't many of you.
Everybody's here.
You're all here.
The great Jazz Diminick, coached at Mount Carmel for 31 seasons. Over 275 victories in that time.
They almost got to Frederick again. That's a 9-iron shot. Bouncing around to the 41-yard line, and that'll end the first half. And they're on their feet on the Mount Carmel side. A gold medal effort in the opening 24 minutes. We have come to halftime with our score. Mount Carmel 26, Shady Side nothing. We'll put some numbers together. Return with third quarter action. Another good halftime stuff after this timeout.
The PIAA is a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Membership includes most of the public and many private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The PIAA develops and enforces rules which are authorized by the member schools to regulate interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA was formed in 1913 by a group of high school principals to establish uniform rules, eliminate abuses, and place interscholastic athletics in the overall context of secondary education. The purposes of the PIAA are defined in Article 2 of its Constitution. They are to organize, develop, and direct an interscholastic athletic program which will promote, protect, and conserve the health and physical welfare of all participants, to formulate and maintain policies that will safeguard the educational values of interscholastic athletics and cultivate the high ideals of good sportsmanship, and to promote uniformity of standards in all interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, a system which recognizes that athletics is not the driving force, but rather that students are in school primarily to obtain an education. The membership of the PIAA consists of approximately 1,300 schools, divided almost equally between senior high schools and junior high middle schools. Of that membership, approximately 150 are private schools. Nearly 250,000 students participate in interscholastic athletics under the PIAA each year, placing Pennsylvania 7th in the United States for the 1997-98 school year. The four major areas in which the PIAA currently operates are the following: establishment and enforcement of rules governing the eligibility of high school athletes to participate in interscholastic athletics. These include rules for academic performance, attendance requirements, transfer students, pre-participation physical evaluations, age, and amateur status. Organizing and operating 27 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 10 girls sports, and 31 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 11 boys sports. Adopting the playing rules for each sport under its jurisdiction. With the exception of bowling, golf, girls lacrosse, rifle, and tennis, all other playing rules adopted by the PIAA are published by the National Federation of State High School Associations, of which the PIAA has been a member since 1925. Registering and training officials to officiate at contests in which the PIAA member schools participate. Nearly 13,000 officials are currently registered with the PIAA. The PIAA's principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to its playoffs and championships. Gate receipts enable the PIAA to operate without taxpayer financing. The PIAA also provides services to its members on a day-to-day basis through its headquarters in Upper Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The PIAA assists member schools and families by providing the student athlete with opportunities for achievement.
You're watching PIAA Championship Football on PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies. PCN is supported in part by your local cable TV company. Live coverage of the 1999 Pennsylvania Farm Show begins Saturday, January 9th on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Watch the championship rodeo, swine judging, horse and pony pulling contests, sheep-to-shawl competitions, and many other events capturing the flavor of Pennsylvania's premier agricultural showcase. Around-the-clock coverage of the 1999 Pennsylvania Farm Show begins January 9th on PCN. Visit factories, museums, and other interesting places in Pennsylvania every week on PCN. A PCN tour takes you inside Pennsylvania's industry and history. PCN tours Wendell August Forge. Craftsmen at this Grove City operation have been handcrafting metal giftware since 1923. Sunday night at 8. This week on PA Books, Jim O'Brien, author of We Had 'Em All the Way, the story of Bob Prince, former sportscaster for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Sunday night at 9. PCN profiles Pennsylvania State Treasurer Barbara Hafer, Sunday night at 10. You're watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of Pennsylvania cable television companies. PCN is supported by Service Electric Cablevision, serving cable subscribers in Bloomsburg and Sunbury. Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year. During this live 2-hour interactive program, students in grades 1 through 12 may call in to ask math and science questions. State-certified teachers will actively work through the problem with the student.
So what's 6 times 8? 48. 48. And what is 3 times 10? 30.
Homework Help on PCN airs Sundays at 5 p.m. Montgomery County Community College is offering college credit courses for the 1999 spring semester on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Time to Grow is an introductory course on child growth and development from birth through adolescence. Discovering Psychology examines the fundamental principles of psychology, such as behavior, intelligence, and therapies. Living with Health focuses on fitness, diet, illness, injuries, and substance abuse. It's Strictly Business is an introduction to the world of business on a national and international scale. Faces of Culture is a cultural anthropology course studying the structure and process of culture. The American Adventure details the historical periods from Columbian contact to the Civil War and Reconstruction. Destinos is an introduction to Spanish, teaching speaking, listening, and comprehension skills. And the Western Tradition, a history course spanning the Middle Ages through the Renaissance. These telecourses begin Monday, February 8th on PCN. To enroll, contact Montgomery County Community College at 1-888-636-MCCC. The Pennsylvania Cable Network's commitment to public affairs reaches beyond television. PCN's homepage puts you in touch with state government. PCN-TV.com provides citizens with information about PCN's programming. Users can access our nightly program schedule, browse PCN Vision, or check out information on PCN's weekly tours, books, and profiles. Through PCN-TV.com, you can also access legislation, find out when hearings are scheduled, or send email to your legislators. The homepage provides users with links to dozens of worldwide websites relating to Pennsylvania public affairs. The PCN homepage is free and available to anyone with access to the World Wide Web. Our address is www.pcntv.com. The Pennsylvania Press Club is a monthly luncheon series featuring key lawmakers, newsmakers, and policymakers. Luncheons are held on the fourth Monday of the month at the Tuesday Club in Harrisburg and can be seen in their entirety on PCN. Next month's Pennsylvania Press Club luncheon will feature Bill Giles, chairman of the Philadelphia Phillies, Thursday, January 25th at 9 p.m. Check PCN's website for more information and upcoming luncheon guests. You are watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, a public service of Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies. PCN is supported by TCI of Pennsylvania, serving cable subscribers in suburban Pittsburgh, including East Hills and Ross Township. Do you have a question you want answered?
What has been done to the people purchasing this dump steel, if anything, and do we know who these folks are?
How much money are these HMOs paying to these legislators?
Leaders, journalists, policymakers, and pundits take your calls on PCN's call-in program. The Pennsylvania Cable Network, giving viewers a choice. Call in to PCN Thursday nights at 7. PIAA Championships exclusively on PCN. This is PCN's scheduled coverage of PIAA Championship events for 1999. This game is paid for by PCN and your local cable TV system.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we call your attention to the midfield area where we have a very special presentation for a very special group of people. We would now like to recognize the PIAA corporate sponsor, Hayes Large Architects. Presenting this honorary plaque will be PIAA Executive Director, Mr. Brad Cashman, and accepting the plaque on behalf of Hayes Large Architects, Mr. Vern McKenzie. We present this plaque in recognition of your unfailing support and encouragement to the student athletes of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We commend you for your contribution of time and energy to uphold the high ideals and ethics that interscholastic athletics teaches, especially in the sport of football. Your resources have assisted greatly